to another edition of South Jersey Life Sports Edition. I am your host, William Wesley, and I'm with my cuz, Levon, gonna hold me down, talking about Super Bowl. Uh, and then we also want to talk a little bit about other stuff that's going on in sports news. So I'm gonna start the topic off with so you got Kansas City and the Philadelphia Eagles, head to head. Cincinnati was knocked off. Um, I think I had Cincinnati winning that
Yeah,
game. My heart won, but my head wasn't able to get it done. So but I'm okay because in my heart, that's what I want. I wanted Kansas City to win. I was tired of Joe Burrow. So I think you had Cincinnati too. So what was your feeling about that game
yeah,
last or
man.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah, hey,
Hmm.
hey, man. That Kansas City, man, Arrowhead. That's all I can say.
Hmm.
I think,
I thought it was Burrowhead. That's what they was calling it.
man, shoot, hey, they already know what it is. It ain't like that. That's what makes the thing always so interesting. Is like you take a Cincinnati, they just came from the Super Bowl. They was coming off a Super Bowl season,
Hmm.
and with the mentality of getting right back. Nobody had more bitter taste in their mouth than uh than Cincinnati after you know how it goes. You're a
Hmm.
competitor, right?
Hmm.
And but Kansas City, they had some get back. They was ready to get back themselves because that's who knocked them out last year.
Hmm.
So the taste buds for Cincinnati was at its prime. At its
Hmm.
prime, they had a chance to get him back. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
so they pushed him over. Mahomes he played not 100%. We know that, and
Yeah.
gave you an MVP effort. And
Yeah.
what else could you can't do
Yeah.
nothing but
Because
respect that. I mean, I did have Cincinnati, but hey, I
hmm
respect the Chiefs protecting the home field. I know I was going with the underdog, but that's what sports is about, right?
yeah, because I thought that ankle would be more messed up than it was. I thought he would
Yeah,
be, limping around, but he looked pretty good.
yeah, he did.
Mahomes, and I thought at the end when Joe Burrow had that ball last, I'm like, all right, they about to drive down the field because they was having the momentum in that second half. And when he was starting to drive down the field, I'm like, it was like third down, 16, something like that. And he hit like the tight end for the first down. I said, oh, yeah, Kansas City lost this game.
Yeah,
But Chris Jones on third down got the ball, and you got to give it back to Mahomes. I'm like, some magic going on in Arrowhead. And then as Mahomes is running out of bounds, the Bengals guy wants to push him out of bounds. I mean, that's just you can't push a
I mean,
quarterback in
two
the back.
steps out of bounds.
And he's Mahomes. This isn't like the backup. Nobody know. This is Mahomes. You know
Yeah,
he's going to get that call.
the
And you
face of
see,
the league.
yeah, and you see him crying on the sidelines and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, you might as well just keep on crying, man. You know you messed up. And
Yeah,
so they wound up kicking the field goal, winning the game. So I was happy because I didn't
yeah,
want to see Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. I wanted it to be a Kansas City in the Super Bowl. So I was good. The heart went out. So it was
yeah.
all good.
I
Yes. Yeah, so,
mean,
go ahead.
that you won't. I like the angle that you're taking on that too. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, I mean, you got a different. I mean, we talking sports, we chopping it up. So yeah,
Hmm.
you got the Burrow fans, and
Hmm.
and everybody's heard rave about him before,
Hmm.
and definitely not taking anything from him as far as his talent and things of that nature. But the fact that you say I was ready for him to move on, I feel that too because part of
Hmm.
me, I'm digging the other topic of this, and that falls into with Mahomes winning
Hmm.
and with the Philly winning, you
Yeah.
know.
We got some representation up here in the
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Like
man,
that.
power to
First,
the people.
yeah, exactly. Because first time. in all of the Super Bowl where you have two African Americans going at it in the Super Bowl. So it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It's about damn time. So it'll be nice when you have two black quarterbacks and two black head coaches in the Super
Ah,
Bowl. You know, that's what we're waiting to see as well. But yeah,
yeah.
I said no knock on the Joe Burrows and the Josh Allens of the world, but you know what? It's time to see some representation of the whole NFL league. So when you got the two black quarterbacks in there, hey, it's a beautiful thing.
It's a
And it's
beautiful.
good for the league. Trust me, it's good for the league as well.
Yeah, they know
So
that.
so let's get to it. On the other side, you
Okay.
had the San Francisco 49ers going against the Philadelphia Eagles. And all my Philadelphia fans out there, you know, I am not an Eagles fan, but I'm a Jalen Hurts guy. Okay. And I'm rooting for Jalen Hurts. And he didn't have to do much because the Eagles defense, they was all over Jock Purdy. Beginning of the game, hitting his arm. He got to go out. And then you bring in Josh Johnson to come in. He comes in the game. He gets a
Hmm.
concussion. And
Yeah,
then Purdy got to come back in and can't throw the ball.
yeah.
I mean, it was,
They
it
had the
was
running back. They had the running back.
I thought McCaffrey was going to get back there and start doing some wildcat plays, right?
Yeah, he was back there a couple times
He
though.
was back. He was back
Yeah,
there a couple of times, but
yeah, he did.
But
Hey,
Eagles like, man, this is like high school football right now. All y'all gonna do is run the football. We got y'all, and that's
yeah,
what they
man.
did. They stepped up to the game, and the Eagles' offense didn't have to do much. For the simple fact is, they know their defense could hold them down. So I don't even think they opened up their playbook like they were going to
Yeah,
because they knew they could just run the football. San Francisco's going to defense is going to be on the field the whole time. They're going to wear out you know, this is just like a free ticket to the Super Bowl, and but they cashed it in. So you gotta give credit to the Eagles for that.
yeah, no doubt,
Hmm.
no doubt. I mean, them Eagles, man. Like you said, I mean, they protected home field advantage,
Yeah.
and they came in there with you know, a I mean, that defense is already. You got to give them credit. They had a great season. They've been having a great season. We know there's some hunters out there.
Right.
They got some dog. They got some dogs on that D line up there in Philly, man. And San Fran came right on in with some fresh bait back there with Mr. Irrelevant dangling in front of them. I mean,
Hmm.
hey, attack was on. Attack was on, man. And I was proud of Philly. And like you said, man, I'm rooting for Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Root to the Q. Let's go. Let's go get it. Let's go get it, man.
So yeah. So that sets up the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. We're going to talk about this game. Break it down much more. But there's been a lot of stuff going on in the rest of the sports world, especially with the NBA. And, I was expecting just to talk about football, but it seems like the NBA this week basically took over and you forgot the Super Bowl was about to go on.
Oh,
So let's talk about Mr. Kyrie Irving and Mr. Kevin Durant, both getting traded from the Nets. So the big three that was supposed to be the greatest team assembled with Harden, Durant, and Irving, 2 years later, you have nothing, right? So how do you feel about the trades of the Nets, having to get rid of Kyrie, having to get rid of Durant, and the two teams that's going to be going to Durant going to Phoenix, Kyrie going to Dallas? What would they look like? So what you got?
yeah. Okay. Well, I know that question was talking about what would Brooklyn look like.
Mhm. But yeah, tell me what you think of Brooklyn actually having to do all of this after just 2 years.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
Brooklyn was low hanging fruit when they jumped on there.
Hmm.
And you said, yeah, they had the team, the big three, and this, that, and the third. But unfortunately, I don't think Brooklyn really did that due diligence and made a educated decision when they jumped on that combination.
Mhm.
So it was really, in my opinion, probably doomed from the start. Not that it couldn't work on the basketball court with the skill sets of the individuals,
Mhm.
but um, where were they at mentally, as an individual going into that situation? That makes a big difference. I'm not talking about them as a man or what
Mhm.
have you in a negative sense or a positive sense, with you or against you, whatever, however they feel. But
Mhm.
basketball wise, you know, what are you doing off the court? How does that affect your on the court?
Right.
And we talking about sports. It
Mhm.
plays a it plays a factor. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Kevin Durant was getting of New Jersey. Well, bottom line is where I'm going with it is because they had three superstars coming in,
Mhm.
and they were running they had the hall to say so.
They the ones that got Steve Nash the job. No
Yeah,
prior coaching experience, but
yeah,
we want him.
yeah.
We'll take
So
him.
yeah,
Yep.
but and Steve was just like, okay, I take it because to me, a a veteran coach, a veteran coach in that position would have been a hard sell because a veteran coach, that means is a has a old school mentality, and I'm not talking about a old coach, but even like a Doc Rivers,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, they're gonna come in and they're gonna have the mentality of they're the coach of the team,
Mhm.
and they're not gonna budge on that. That's why they feel like they were hired. Steve came in like, okay, I'll coddle these attitudes and
Yeah.
these personalities, and they're gonna
Mhm.
tell me, and I'm just gonna say, well,
Yeah.
KD, if you,
Mutual thing. Like
yeah,
it's
if you're gonna
a
play the
mutual
game,
thing.
then
Yeah.
just give me what you got. No,
Yeah. 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 When you're the coach, you are the one that's in charge. And
yeah,
but the reason why I think that they hired Steve Nash is because they said, well, you know what, we can basically tell him what we want to have done.
yeah,
And Kyrie always said we don't even really need a coach.
yeah,
But that's you need a leader of the team, which is supposed to be the coach.
yeah.
And
Come on, man. Let's not be naive. I mean, I hear Kyrie saying that, and Kyrie's a great player. I would love to have him on my
great
team.
player, great talent, yes.
Great talent.
Mhm.
A super he's a thinker. He's a thinker, and I respect that him
In
as a
my opinion, thinks a little bit too much, but
you
to each
know,
his own. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I
Hmm.
respect that as a man to
Hmm.
you have some ideas and some thoughts and opinions or whatever.
Hmm.
That's cool. Stand on them.
Hmm.
But with that being said, I think goes a little too far to say I play a team sport and we don't need a coach.
It is a little bit too far. It's a
That's
little, it's a little arrogant. It's a
yeah, I
little
mean,
arrogant.
I don't if and I'm a former coach
Hmm.
myself, and I I knowingly wouldn't want to go into a season knowing that I had anybody on my team from the best player to the worst player
Hmm.
that had that attitude.
Yeah.
I don't want them on the team.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you saw in the beginning of the season there was the Durant wanted to get traded,
yeah,
Kyrie wanted to be traded, and they wanted Nash and the general manager out. But that didn't happen. The owner stepped in and said no. Steve Nash and the general manager, they're going to stay. But after a few bad games, Nash was out. The
yeah.
players, I mean, basically
But they
players.
ran the show, so even
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
As a franchise, the Nets, I mean, they didn't have as a franchise, they didn't have any power, this, that, and the third.
Mhm.
So, you know, but when people look at it individually and be like, for these athletes and it's a system and it's all of these things that go behind the scenes and this, that, and the third,
Mhm.
you can say, all right, man, I feel y'all fellas, you got a voice. Everybody wants to be heard by your employee and things of that nature. So I do respect that.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, how do you want my opinion? Based if my opinion is on the franchise, it wasn't a good move from the beginning. It really wasn't well
Okay.
thought out. It wasn't planned.
Uh-huh.
You get what you deserve. The
Mhm,
fellas came in there and got you for your bank. My last
mhm.
knowledge about them was they had, I think their majority owner was a Russian tycoon.
Well,
That
no, he used to be they have Russians that used to be the owner. I think they gave it up. I don't know his nationality, but I don't think the Russians own it anymore.
don't Jay-Z own a piece of that, or did he let that
No,
go?
he been let that Jay-Z been let that go. Yeah,
Yeah,
because when they started doing with
the agent.
the agency, yeah, you can't be a part owner. It's a conflict of interest, so he had to
Yeah,
give up that piece. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's to me, it's just the fact is when you have Harden, Durant, Kyrie Irving, even though when they was, I think it was last year when they was, just doing awful, Vegas still had them as the odds to come out the East. That's how feared that trio was. And then when Durant got hurt and it was just Harding and Irving, it was like, okay, they still look good. But for some reason, Harden said, you know what? I don't want to deal with this no more. I'm done. I want out. So when he came to Philly, which I'm glad, thank you, because we got rid of Ben Simmons, you know. But Harden came and then you were like, okay, well, what's going on? Why would Harden leave what looked like, the best three group of talent put together? Why would he just say, you know what, I'm done? Because there was cracks in the foundation and he could see that it was about to crumble down.
Mm-hmm.
And not long after the season, it's like, yo, everybody wanted out. Durant wanted out, and Kyrie wanted out. Um, I just think it's unfortunate if you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, but as a Philadelphia 76er fan, thank you, Brooklyn, because I don't need y'all messing up us trying to get to the NBA Finals. So I'm okay with the breakup. So
Mm-hmm.
that part of it, I'm cool with because I thought it was going to be them and Milwaukee would be our toughest challenge coming out of the East. Now Boston has stepped up their game, so like right now they're the number one seed. But for the
Yeah.
breakup, yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
for the breakup, I'm glad they broke up. I'm glad Harden's on our team, and I'm glad that Durant and Kyrie's out the East. It makes our
yeah,
rule just a little bit easier. So as
the East is wide open, bro.
the East is wide open, I still think as a Sixer fan, we got a shot. But Boston just beat us the other night. Milwaukee, Middleton is back. I just think Milwaukee is the number one team, even though they're not the number one seed. They're the number one team. Then I think it's Boston. So it's Milwaukee, Boston, and then I think it's the Sixers. And then after them, I think it's the Cleveland Cavaliers because Cleveland with Mitchell
Yeah,
and not Sexton, Garland in the backcourt, they look like they may cause some damage. So I would say it's those four teams that's trying to get to the championship. But Durant going to the Phoenix Suns now, Phoenix look like they could be a powerhouse. Everybody starting to pick them. So what you got? What you got on that situation?
man, that's crazy. When
Hmm.
I caught that word
Hmm.
that KD was headed to Phoenix, the
Hmm.
first thing I said was he got a point guard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He
He
got
got
a
a point
mean
guard.
point guard, man. My Hawks, they yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, Atlanta in the house. Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
we
yep.
we just played Phoenix the day of the trade. So we
Hmm.
we beat them. We beat Phoenix
Luckily, it was the day of the trade
the
and not
day.
2 days
You know,
after the trade.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a real sports guy. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Hey man,
Hmm.
we beat them. We needed to win. That was
Yeah.
big for our squad. Put us over
Hmm.
500. We've been beat. We've been BSing all season, just buzzing around. But
Hmm.
so anyway, the trade went down, and we didn't have to deal with the new Phoenix Suns that's about to go out here and
Yeah.
cause some ruckus.
Yeah. Hmm.
But
Yeah.
the crazy part about this though whole move is Kevin Durant's not ready to get off of the on the court yet.
Yeah, he got a little bit of ways, but I
Yeah,
just think that he may come back a little bit sooner now that he's not in Brooklyn. That
yeah,
knee may
good
heal up
point.
a
Good
little
point.
bit more. All he needs is a little bit of Ben Gay rubbing on that knee,
Yeah, good
and I
point.
think he may be a lot healthier sooner being in Phoenix. All of a sudden, that Phoenix weather feels a lot more better than that Brooklyn weather. So
Oh,
I think he's going to be on there as soon as possible so they can start moving up in the standings,
yeah,
try to get home court in the first round.
yeah. Well, and the push is this though.
Hmm.
People have to understand that the trade deadline is made. You got the All Star break coming up. Okay, I
Hmm.
think that's next week, and it's 25 games after the All Star break.
It's a sprint to the finish.
It's a sprint to the finish.
Hmm.
So you gotta. It's a certain level of professionalism and maturity that these teams or that these men have to have
Hmm.
to get ready for this, sprint to the finish right now.
Right.
So some teams will gel, some
Hmm.
teams won't gel. Even some of the guys that were part of these trades and deals that we really don't, that they may not be big time names, but they may
Hmm.
be some glue guys that got let go that the franchise didn't really recognize or appreciate their
Hmm.
role as a glue guy, a good practice guy, a good
Hmm.
teammate. He ain't on the bench bitching and moaning about minutes and how many points he got. He's
Hmm.
uplifting a team, and he's number 8 or 9 on the bench that may not even get in.
Hmm.
But the starters respect him. Everybody respects him, and then the franchise trades him away in some 3-team deal, and he's if
Hmm.
that knocks the team for a second, and heck, that might be a game or two. And as
Right.
close as the standings are, a game or two is all it's going to be that's separating you from being a hosting a game or being on the road in the first series.
Right.
So yeah, so the Phoenix move though, as a basketball fan, I mean, I
Hmm.
am ecstatic with the
Right.
possibility on the high level of basketball I will get to witness
Hmm.
with Chris Paul at the point guard, Booker coming off injury. That's UK, Big Blue.
Hmm.
Um, and he's a baller. And then you got with KD, I mean, and Chris Paul with all these weapons and the
You still got
know-how.
you still got Aiden because Aiden to me hasn't lived up to his potential
Yeah,
as being a
but
number one pick.
he's
But
gonna
he doesn't have to do as much, and he just need to be that big man. Play a little bit of defense. Just get the rebound, set some
yeah,
screens, and
yeah,
he's
but
go ahead.
that's what I watched a good portion of the game the other night against the Hawks,
Uh-huh.
and Dominique Wilkins was part of the commentating down here, and he pointed out that Aiden had 18 points and 1 rebound,
Mhm.
and we were halfway through the third quarter.
Right.
And just listening to what you were just saying,
Hmm.
what element does he need to be at, and what types of things does he need to bring to the table to help that squad? And rebounding, we know, is a major stat
Yeah.
that's overlooked though. And
Hmm.
if he's only contribute because he's not going to be asked to give 18
He
points a
doesn't.
game.
Aiden doesn't have to score. Like I watched a lot of Aiden, coming out of college, and I just think that like I said, they had to pay him the money because of his contract was coming up, so they had to give him, the large contract. But Aiden is not a guy that's aggressive enough. Like he's a big guy. He's not aggressive enough scoring. He's not aggressive enough on the defensive end.
Yeah,
But right now they don't need you to score. So that 18 points, that can be 12 points, but you need to pull up that one rebound to 12, 13 rebounds.
exactly.
You
And
know,
you got to
so
be a dog.
offensive because to me, maybe he's like, okay, well, I got to do both. I got to play defense because I'm the big man,
Yeah,
the rim protector, and I got to help score. Well, now we don't need you to score. So you focus in on that one thing, you being the rim protector and you grabbing rebounds. That's all you got to do. And it may
Yeah.
simplify his game a lot more. And if that's the case, then I think that they got a great shot of getting to the NBA Finals. Now, let me
Wow.
just ask you right this. Now, what do you think about Kyrie and Luca uh, with the Mavs? Because I see a lot of scoring, a lot of highlights, no defense, but a lot of scoring and a lot of highlights. So, what you think on that?
Okay, okay. Man, you said it. You said it. Excitement. That's what
Hmm.
I think about that trade.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be
Oh
fun to
man,
watch.
I think about excitement. But you know what? As a basketball fan, because I'm also excited to see some high level basketball being played by
Hmm.
Kyrie with a young basketball man like Luca.
Hmm.
If you know, Luca is a cerebral player. He does a lot of things, and but he makes it. I mean, he has that. I'm not gonna say this in a I don't definitely not saying negative, but a prototypical international style of basketball.
Hmm.
But it's with swag though. That young man has some swag to his game,
Yeah.
and I think his swag and his energy will flow good with Kyrie right now because Kyrie's in a different space mentally than I think he's been in a long time. Now, the Kyrie to Dallas move was more of a swipe, in my opinion, and
Hmm.
a jab done by the Nets.
Hmm.
Um, the rumor has it, okay. Rumor has it that
The rumor. Yeah.
yeah, listen to this rumor. Rumor has it that Kyrie wanted to be traded, and
Hmm.
he really, what have you, just you know the deal. I'm out of here, whatever. Get rid of me or
Yeah.
get nothing. Um, and the Brooklyn was like anybody but the Lakers.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Because LeBron had that tweet saying, "Is
hey,
it me? Is it me?" I think that was a tweet. Is it me?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
hey, and honestly, if when we play the tape back and think about it in years to come, follow or what have you, uh, if LeBron, the question is if LeBron would have kept his mouth shut
Mhm.
and played his card with a silent because he's man, that's one thing I give LeBron credit for. The
Mhm.
way he handles himself with the media, with these social media, with his quotes, and when he gets to the microphone, I mean the man is thorough, and I respect the hell out of him on that tip, man. He handles himself very well, but in this situation, I think he could have just. Mm,
A little quiet.
Yeah, not so publicly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He could have said it to somebody. He has plenty of ears, but he
Hmm.
didn't have to put it out there because bam, once the media took it out there, then if Brooklyn wasn't even thinking about that move, it's like playing Connect Four when you know what I'm saying, you might set yourself up like, oh, and you see the kill shot on yourself,
Hmm.
but you don't really want to give it away when they getting ready to play somewhere else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then they be like, oh, and re-look at it, then come back in and say anybody but LA because
Right.
if because this mentality and version of Kyrie Irving we have not seen in a long time.
Kyrie
And
was been on
him
fire.
in him in LA right now.
Hmm.
I'm not even a Lakers fan, but
Right.
boy, if
Yeah, I
Kyrie
would love. I would love
would
to
be
see it happen. They ain't in the
oh,
East, so I would love to see it happen.
man,
So
the
that would
friend,
have been.
the
But
the,
but
the industry
Kyrie.
wanted that.
But Kyrie. The only fault that I have with this, and we'll switch up in a little bit, but topics in a little bit. But when Dallas gives up uh, all of their players and draft picks for Kyrie,
Uh-huh.
Kyrie is a free agent. Kyrie
Mhm.
next year can be with the Lakers.
Yeah.
So I don't. it's like you have to win the championship now, and the fact that Durant went to the Phoenix Suns, it's like no, you can't beat the Phoenix Suns. I don't think you can beat the Denver Nuggets. I don't think they can beat the Memphis Grizzlies. So if they don't win a championship now, and Kyrie decides to walk and go to LA, it's a problem. It's a
Yeah,
big problem.
yeah, but it depends on how a lot of that. It depends on how Kyrie is received
Hmm.
in the Lone Star State as well, and no better place, business wise.
Hmm.
Uh, of course, LA is LA,
Yeah.
but hey, you got the tax situation. He's coming off of a endorsement hits, financially. I mean, I'm not in his pocket. I'm just a, outsider and speaking on them situations with the whole Nike deal or whatever.
Hmm.
So, maybe how the tax game is played may make up a difference in that man's lifestyle or
Well,
necessary,
yeah.
and that's a whole
Well,
different conversation for, South Jersey life. But those
well,
things,
South Jersey Life pays a lot of taxes. Okay.
yeah,
Anybody South Jersey Life, we pay a lot of taxes.
yeah,
So yeah, we know about that. And
yeah.
you can be down in Texas and states like Florida and stuff like that. No state taxes. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, but like a great point. He could end up in Dallas. I mean, in LA next year, and then where's Dallas? Dallas is sitting there or whatever. But Dallas has always been a a go get it type of squad. I mean, that's Cuban. That you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? That's a Mark Cuban deal right there. I mean, he's always
Yeah, it's a splash play, and he
it
got
is a
to.
splash play.
Yeah, and he's a multi-billionaire. He don't mind, putting out some more money. So if he don't got to pay Kyrie, I'm sure he's going to try to get another free agent down there at
Oh
Dallas.
yeah, I mean, Luke. If Luca's not going nowhere, you still got a strong magnet. You know
Yeah,
what
you
I'm
got
saying?
Luca. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
you
Luca.
got you got Luca. So shoot, there's
Yeah,
some guys that want to play with Luca.
so we'll see what happens in this instance. Now, one other story before we get to the NFL breakdown: LeBron becoming an all-time leading scorer, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yep.
And basically, the debate's been, is LeBron James the best scorer of all times? And I've just been looking at the different shows on ESPN, Fox Sports, about what do you consider the best scorer? Is LeBron even top five best scorer, or just because he does have the mark now, he's automatically the best scorer in the NBA? And then it's the comparison of him, who's better. This it always sparks up when LeBron does something. Who's better, LeBron or MJ? So I'm
Mm.
gonna let you. I'm gonna ask you, who do you think is your top five scorers, just pure scorers of all time? And do you think that LeBron James, because he is now the all-time leading scorer, most points, he is the best scorer of all times in the NBA? So you can answer that question first.
Okay. If you don't mind, I need to look something up real quick.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Because
Yeah.
I can start talking about how I feel about it, and how I feel about it is LeBron. He's played for 20 years. He rarely gets hurt.
Uh
And
huh.
he broke Kareem, but Kareem was never considered the best scorer in the NBA history. To me, the best scorer is more of points per game instead of all-time points. Michael Jordan, to me, is the most prolific scorer of all time. Okay, we can even put Wilt Chamberlain in there. Now I don't know exactly how the top five rankings would be, but
Yeah.
when I think of LeBron, and even LeBron said himself, I don't consider him to be a scorer. He don't consider himself to be a scorer. He's an all-around player. He just happened to have scored the most points. I will put Allen Iverson, AI, the truth, up in there. Um, I'll put Kobe Bryant. And so what I got? Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
Wilt, Kobe, Allen. Uh, trying to think who I would think. I'll put Curry in there before as all time scorers, just pure scores, than I would before I put LeBron James up in there. So that's kind of how I see it. But I do give LeBron his props for being at all time score and everything. But I just don't think that he is a pure scorer. He just happens to get a lot of points. You know.
Yes, that's the and that's what I was trying to look up
Uh huh.
the all time leading scores
Uh huh.
and
Because I know it goes because right now it's James, it was Kareem, and then before him it was Wilt.
okay.
So it's top three of all times. I think those are the. I think those are still the top three. But somebody could have passed Wilt. Somebody could have probably passed Wilt.
Yeah, somebody. Yeah. I'm finna see what I got right here.
Hmm.
So we got LeBron James, Kareem, Karl Malone,
Okay,
and
so okay, long
yeah,
because of longevity, yes.
yeah, all time leaders on that. But
Hmm. Just like I don't consider Karl Malone being in that. Karl Malone being
nah,
a top all-time scorer, even though I know he was very consistent and he
yeah,
scored a lot of points, but I don't consider him a scorer.
yeah, because I mean, this conversation, like you're saying, and this whole question, when people this debate, a
Uh-huh.
score,
Yeah,
what mentality are you coming in with? And like you're saying, you talking about top scores of all time,
yeah.
then I'm thinking about guys that create their shots, could get their shot off
Uh-huh.
against, you know, crazy defenses, crazy situations,
Uh-huh.
um, manipulation of the ball.
Uh-huh.
To me, Kyrie is a fantastic scorer of the basketball.
Yes, that he is.
I mean, that young man can put the ball in the hoop
Uh-huh.
and and LeBron, okay, he has more points.
Uh-huh.
When you think about it like that, who's the leading scorer, who's the most scorer in NBA? You got a lot of people that's gonna go straight to the stat book and say LeBron, he's got more points. And like you said, yeah, he has more points. But if you go to football, if you ask most people who the best running back in the history, they're not gonna say Emmitt Smith unless they're a Cowboy fan or something like that. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's just not. I mean, and you respect Emmett. The
Uh-huh.
fans do. I respect Emmett as a football fan
Yeah,
and the yards
I respect him. Yeah.
and the record, but I don't think he's the best running back.
Sure,
I
yeah,
never
as
really.
part because of the consistency, the longevity, and it wound up getting that record. But I'm biased because I'm gonna say Terrell Davis. I'm biased. You know, so I'm very biased on that. But most people would probably say like a Barry Sanders. You know, some people may go back in the day and say like a OJ. You
Yeah,
know,
I
so
mean,
but
yeah, Jim Brown. You got the Joe
yeah,
Jim Brown
yeah.
crew.
Most, most real. Yeah, if you my dad's age, yeah, Jim Brown is the greatest thing you ever saw,
Ever.
ever. Even Walter Payton's sweetness.
Yes.
So you would consider them more of, uh, you know,
Before
better
Emmett,
running backs or whatever,
before
explosive and stuff like that. But
before
Emmett
Emmett.
has the record, just being consistent.
Yeah. Who? Oh, yeah. We still on basketball. I'm gonna come back to this part of the conversation when we get back to the football, just the
Okay,
oddball stuff. But
okay,
but anyway, we was talking about the trade and like you're saying this the element of this trade. What does it do? What's the ripple effect? I guess is a good way of saying
yeah,
about these moves that were made at the trade deadline. I mean, the ripple effect is a much more splashier and bigger in the West.
yeah. I mean, the East
Yeah.
has gotten easier,
Yeah.
not maybe for the top. Well, the fact is Brooklyn is no longer a threat. That's what's gotten easier for the East. But the waves in the West is just like, okay, because I thought Denver Nuggets were just going to go ahead and just cruise, because to me, they are the most complete team in the West. But
Oh
now
yeah,
that you have KD there, and in 7 games and you need 4, if they can outscore you, then Dallas is a threat. And you
yeah.
still got to deal with Golden State. Um, the Lakers got D'Angelo Russell. I don't think that's going to move the needle.
That's not
I don't.
enough. I don't
Yeah,
think it's enough for LA. LA, I
no,
mean, and they
they needed Kyrie. They
yeah,
needed
they
they,
needed Kyrie.
they needed Kyrie. That was their main piece. They got rid of Russell just to get rid of him, but I don't see them. But you have a good. Now the West is real interesting. Now you have a
Hey,
wide open race in the West.
check this out.
Yeah.
Steph Curry got hurt about a week
Mhm.
ago.
Yeah, I seen that knee injury. Yeah. Yeah.
So this the West is a lot of boom. Hey, check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis was talking real big around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
They've been eating some humble pie for the whole 23, bro. I'm not
Yeah,
saying they haven't won a
I
game.
think, yeah. Listen, I am. Listen, I read. They're too young for me to respect yet. The Memphis Grizzlies. I'll put it to you like, they're too young for me to respect. Now, I see Morant. Man, they got a lot of mouth on them.
Yeah,
But they a little bit too young for me to give them too much respect. You got to show me. I say they
yeah,
talk a lot,
yeah,
but every time they go against Golden State, they limping. Golden State limping around, and they still whooping they behind. So it's you got to show me.
yeah,
You know, so
yeah.
I'm not even going to consider Memphis. Memphis has talent, but that talent you got to show me when it's playoff time.
Hey,
Because they did last
Memphis,
year to me was their year.
man, the matchups for the West playoffs, it's gonna be some must-see TV going on out there, brother.
It is. It is. It is. It's
Yes,
from the 1 through 8. Whoever gets
yes,
it
sir.
in, it's gonna look good. Now, but let me just ask you the question real quick because we're gonna go to football real quick.
Okay,
Who do you think is the greatest of all time? Just throwing it out there, LeBron or Jordan. Who do you got?
man. I'm gonna say this, and we talking about on the court, right?
We just talking about basketball.
Good. We
Yeah,
just talking about.
I ain't saying what's on my feet. I'm just saying, you know,
Hey,
I'm just talking purely straight up basketball.
purely straight up basketball. Okay, let me say this.
Hmm.
MJ,
Hmm.
all right, MJ, and this is an element of this thought. LeBron is a hell of a basketball player, so it's no knock on either way anybody really picks. I just like hearing people have this debate and whatever, and get the blood pressure goes up and stuff. I'm not that serious with either one of them. Um, I don't even own a pair of Jordans. How about that? Uh,
Yeah, I only got a
you
few. I only
you
got
know
a
what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I mean, that's just so and I'm
few.
saying Jordan.
Hmm.
Jordan, I grew up with Jordan, so I was able to watch and enjoy his whole career.
Hmm.
Uh, and throughout his career, I didn't see Jordan drop off. That's what I've witnessed.
Yeah.
Okay. And LeBron, and the thing about it, when you have the longevity,
Hmm.
then
That is a factor. Yeah.
and that's part of my thought process when I'm asked that question,
Hmm.
because you're asking me from here to here on the court, their career,
Hmm.
the best ever. MJ, he
Hmm.
didn't win a champion. He had to grind with them early years, even though he wasn't winning
Yeah.
a championship.
Hmm.
Hey man, he was balling out there. He was doing some unbelievable things on the basketball court.
Right.
LeBron has done some unbelievable things on the basketball court, and he
Hmm.
came in as a high school, as a young man at 18
Yeah.
or what have you. So his learning curve was different. So you saw LeBron, a lot of LeBron's learning early on in his development of a game. MJ came in out of college, so that level and that Dean Smith wisdom and things of that nature, the
Mhm.
ACC battles. So once he entered the league, I mean, Chicago against Boston to him was North Carolina Duke or something. So
Right.
you know what I'm saying? LeBron had a whatever game against another private school. So
Yeah.
mentally they were in different places
Jordan
as well.
came in having rivalries in college, winning the championship,
Yeah,
game-winning shot. So
yeah.
it prepared him more, when he got into the NBA. It's like, yeah, this is just one step above where
I
LeBron came
just
in and had to take a bigger leap or whatever because
yeah,
he had no jump shot when he came into the league.
yeah. I mean, Jordan was like, yo, I just won the gold medal
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
in. You know what
hmm
I'm saying? So I had the nation out. I had the weight of the nation on my shoulders coming
hmm
out of college, off rip, going into the Olympics. Like,
hmm
bam. So going to a team was like lightweight, just coming out the gate. I done
yeah,
lifted heavyweights. Boom. Chicago didn't have a winning franchise, so it
hmm
wasn't like he was filling the shoes of anybody. You know what I mean? I mean, not saying
hmm
that Chicago didn't have any players, but they wasn't they wasn't a big time franchise. You had the New York Knicks, the Boston Celtics. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Philadelphia,
yeah.
the
Those were
Lakers.
the big games, the big
Yeah,
teams
you
at the
know.
time.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
But
You know.
yeah, but let me say this with Jordan. It's just to me, it's as simple as Jordan had that killer mentality, and this is even my wife. We all when we used to watch LeBron in the finals, right?
Mm,
When it's time to take that game-winning shot, it looked like he could take it, but he would dish the ball. He would pass it up. It's like he didn't want to be the man. He wants to be the guy that makes the correct play.
yeah,
But when you're playing in the NBA and there's a guy named Michael Jordan, the correct play was to give me the ball, get out the way, and I'm gonna win the game. Just end all be all. But as he got older, he did beat my Phoenix Suns at the time because the great Charles Barkley was on there. He did give a pass to I think it was to Paxson or Kerr, one of them,
correct.
and wound up. And I was like, he actually passed the ball. At the end of the game, he passed the ball, hit the three. We lost in the finals. But besides that, no, Jordan's taking the last shot. Okay,
Yeah,
everybody in the crowd knows Jordan's taking the last shot, and he's not passing the ball if he's wide open. And to
yeah,
me, LeBron, that's what, in my mind, especially his early years with Cleveland and with Miami, he didn't want to be the man. And I think
yeah,
it was Dwayne Wade had to come to him and say, "Listen, no, we need you to
yeah,
be the man." And then
yeah.
you start to see his game, elevate. Well, okay, well, let me start taking that game winning shot. He had to grow into it.
And you said a great thing. Even when you talk about the Miami days,
Yeah.
okay, he had to have. Well, he didn't have to have, but he was blessed to have a Dwayne Wade at that
Mhm.
time of in his career,
Veteran. Yeah, veteran now.
a veteran, a championship Dwayne Wade,
Mhm.
post post Shaq.
Yeah, because Shaq had to show the win, like, I need you
Yes,
to take
yes,
over. Yes.
yes. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And see when you start talking about it as a fan, basically you talking about you admire Jordan because he had that killer instinct that put the ball in my hands, I got it. And that's why a lot of people don't even have it. Their order doesn't have LeBron as their top basketball player of all times in their
hmm
top three. Oh, what do you mean not the top three? The debate, when you're looking at it like that, then I'm saying LeBron is down the list like he is with the scores to me.
hmm
Because part of being a scorer, that the mentality of who's your favorite scorer, what you
hmm
just talked about is an element to that decision. If
Yeah.
I want to respect somebody's basketball opinion,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because those guys that you were naming, AI,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? That that guy right there was had the same like-minded
Attack,
mentality.
attack, attack, attack,
Yeah,
attack.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and them some scary to go against. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so and the consistency of that as well. This ride, this roller coaster of like this. No, it's like Reggie Miller was a great scorer. He was coming to give it to you every
Mm-hmm.
game, every
Yeah,
time he stepped. It wasn't like, well,
he
tonight
was not afraid.
I'm just gonna get a couple shots in. No, I'm
Hmm.
trying to. I'm New York. I'm coming at you. I'm not
I'm
scared of
trying
none
to
of that.
cut your heart out.
I'm
That's
getting
the main thing. I'm trying to cut your heart out.
yes, Larry
Yeah,
Bird. You
yeah.
know what I mean? That's why they're
Mm-hmm.
so respected as well. And so yeah, LeBron, hey man, you start talking about that killer instinct. It's easy, Jordan. But do
Mm-hmm.
I respect LeBron and everything
I
he's
do
done
too.
because of
Yeah,
totality for
yeah,
20 plus years on that level?
yeah.
Man, yes.
Yeah, LeBron's in my, LeBron's easily in my top five. He could be in, top two,
I
but
mean,
but
LeBron
the
is 2 inches taller, 2 or 3 inches taller than
then
than
Jordan.
Michael.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about
Because he's 6'9", Jordan was 6'6".
okay, and he's athletic as hell for a six for that
Freak of
frame.
nature, freak of nature.
Yeah, I mean, come on, bro. That you talking about uh uh if I could have I mean, if you could have stretched out Larry Johnson, grandmama to
Mm-hmm,
that same setup, and be
mm-hmm,
6'9". I mean that's a little bit
mm-hmm.
shorter. You look at that weight when Charles Barkley hit the league.
Well,
Down there
yeah,
with Philly. I
yeah.
mean,
Because
he was
Barkley was only 6'4". They said,
exactly,
yeah, Barkley.
exactly. So, but he
Mm-hmm,
had the muscle and the boom boom. So you take LeBron and give him 6'9"
yeah.
with the body build of that for the 6'9" crew, because most of the time when you get a 6'9" and beyond and above, those
Mm-hmm.
guys get thinner and thinner and thinner. Look
Right.
at Kareem.
Yeah, Kareem's skinny.
Kareem,
Yeah.
but that whole genre, that whole era of basketball, the post
Mm-hmm.
guys were, the height was there, but the size was not in the league.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's like a bodybuilder or whatever. Muscled up, incredible hulk, coming down the lane, trying to
Yeah,
dunk on you. But
yeah,
I guess, like I said, LeBron, all the props in the world to LeBron. But like I said, it's just to me, it's just MJ, and I'll just leave it at that. It's MJ. So
it's
let's
MJ.
all right. So let's go on to the main topic, what we've been what the world's been waiting for. You know, Super Bowl,
Super
right?
Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday coming up soon. And let me get on my ones and twos. People, subscribe, like.
Give me 1 second.
Yep. So we want everybody to subscribe to South Jersey Life. We want everybody to like these videos. I appreciate any feedback that you guys may give us. And like I said, this is the the channel podcast that we want to talk about a lot of different things, and just we're in the infant stages, so bear with us, but we got a lot of content that's coming up very, very soon. So stay tuned and just keep on doing what you do. Keep on watching South Jersey Life. Let's get to the Super Bowl. Okay, so we got Kansas City
Yes, sir.
with Patrick Mahomes, now MVP of the league, against Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 1.5 point favorites in this game. Um, so let me just throw it to you. So, what do you think and expect from these two? Basically they've been the top teams out of both conferences all year. So, what you have going on with this game?
A great game. I got a great game coming out of this Super
Yeah, man.
Bowl. And man, I'm excited. I'm excited
Hmm.
as
Yep.
a fan of the whole setup and a sports fan. Uh,
Hmm.
and call myself a little historian when it comes to just sports in general, man. And I'm excited
Mhm.
about Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, this is the first time in history to have two black quarterbacks.
Yes.
Man, I mean, the game hadn't even started yet, and I'm excited. I mean,
Historic. Yeah, yeah.
I'm
You know,
I'm gonna get a chance to witness
changing of
history.
it's a changing of the guards. That's basically what it is. It's a changing of the guards.
It's confirmation of what a lot of fans and of the sport have been saying for years.
Hmm.
And I think it's going to be give the NFL an opportunity to uh, expound on that history and embrace that history um, as well with uh, you know, other black quarterbacks that paved the way um, along the way, and some making it to the Super Bowl, some winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
But to face off, it says, "Hey, man, the times have changed, like you said.
yeah. Times
The
have changed,
mo-
and
the
yeah,
mobile quarterback is here to stay."
because back in 1987, I think it was January 88, 87 season, 88. As a young kid, I didn't grasp it because I was
Mhm.
only 8 years old. I couldn't grasp it, but my team, being the Denver Broncos, John Elway, my thing was, okay, we're going against the Washington Redskins. That's just it. We're going against Washington. My dad was telling me the significance. Son, there's a black quarterback that's playing for the Super Bowl. But as a child, you don't understand the significance of what that means.
Correct.
All I want to do is beat Doug Williams in Washington and get Elway that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But after all these years, as you see what goes on in society, you see what
Mhm.
goes on in the sports world, it's like, you know what? I'm glad that John Elway lost that Super Bowl. You know, I'm
Yeah.
glad that he lost that Super Bowl. If that's one thing, like I said, I'm a Broncos fan to the heart, but I'm glad that we lost that game to the superior quarterback of that day, which was Doug Williams, and what it meant to a lot of young black men, older
Yes.
black men, to see that. And now the fact is, from 1987 to now 2023, to see actually two black quarterbacks play in the league, play in the Super Bowl. Uh, yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a real good feeling.
Yeah. I mean, and I think the true effect of that historical fact about Doug Williams being the first to win the Super Bowl,
Hmm.
I vividly remember as a youngster, man, uh, watching that game, and at the time of like you said, just being a young man, bro, John Elway and them they were hot. That was
Yeah.
fun. I
Hmm.
didn't say I was at the time. I'm always been an Atlanta fan.
Hmm.
Honestly, back one of my
Yeah,
younger days,
you like
in my
had a little.
younger days as a
Listen, it
young
ain't never too late to come on over to the Broncos side. It ain't never too late, man. You can always have a second team, man.
no, my
It ain't
AFC
never
team.
too late.
No, sir.
It ain't never
Listen,
too late.
listen. I'll tell you my sports. Hey, as a
Hmm.
youngster,
Hmm.
man, the Steelers was my squad
Black and
because
yellow.
but here's where I'm going. As a
Hmm.
young man, I
Hmm.
remember Mean Joe Green
Hmm.
and the Coca-Cola commercial.
Oh man, you getting sentimental? Yeah. Okay.
But as a youngster at that time, seeing
Hmm.
that,
Hmm.
that
Gravitated
that
to.
yeah, that gravitated to me. And then the games wasn't the televised games wasn't like it is now.
Hmm.
So you only were gonna see certain teams anyway.
Right.
The Dallas Cowboys, and they just I didn't never like them. I was liking
Right.
the Steelers, but anyway, but when Doug Williams
Hmm.
when Doug Williams was playing for the Super Bowl, man, I was rooting for Doug Williams, man, and I was so happy that he he kicked Denver's ass I mean, and he didn't just barely win the
Yeah,
Super. He didn't barely win the
yeah,
Super Bowl. I know this
yeah.
hurts, but boy,
Yeah, it
he
does
rep-
hurt.
he represented though, man. He had a great game.
Yeah, see,
You
as I said,
know,
yeah, it brings back bad memories for me because
yeah.
that's the first game that I cried, man. It was halftime because we was
Uh,
up 10-0. I remember that. We was up 10-0. All of a sudden, that second quarter came, and I look up, it's 28-10. You know, 4 touchdowns in the second quarter, and I'm in my room crying. And my dad told you shouldn't have been rooting for no John Elway. Told you, Doug Williams going. You know, I wanted to kill my dad that night,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, I was can't
yeah,
stand Doug
man.
Williams. But like I said, that was back then,
Yeah,
and now you understand the gravity of the moment back then. And like I said, I greatly appreciate Doug Williams and what he's done to set the way, to basically say yes, a black man can run an NFL football team. He can be a leader because he is smart and intelligent. Okay, he is a leader of men, and you gotta. Sometimes some people have to actually see it happen before they start to believe it. And the
yeah,
more over the years people are actually seeing it happen, more people are starting to believe this is not um, a thing that we're as a African American black man. Uh, when you see, I'm trying to see how I want to put this. When you see them in leadership roles, as far as being a quarterback, being doctors, lawyers, the president of the United States, what was in people's ideology, what people ideology was like, we can't do certain things, but once you show that we can, it just breaks down the barriers for everybody else. We can,
correct.
we
You
can,
correct.
and we can. It's a beautiful thing. And then these two quarterbacks to be in there with the two different styles
Yep,
that's coming together and say, "Look, I can be a drop back passer. I can, shred it with my arm, or I can be a mobile quarterback, run around, do what I got to do whatever I got to do to win the game. It doesn't matter though. I
yep,
can be a leader of the team, and that's what you're seeing from these two quarterbacks. So
yeah,
it's a beautiful
yeah.
thing. Yep.
It is a beautiful thing,
Hmm.
and it's gonna be fun to watch
Hmm.
on a lot of levels. And I just want to say this: the the Doug Williams effect was not as instant or as
It
visible
took a while later. Yeah.
on the NFL level.
Hmm.
Um, but it was, if we were to really dig deep in this topic, you probably would see the Doug Williams success spawned uh, more African American men to become quarterbacks on the college level,
Hmm.
and then you started seeing the maturation throughout the college levels where the
Hmm.
fluctuate, and when we started winning uh Heisman trophies at the quarterback position and
Hmm.
national championships at the quarterback position,
Hmm.
and then it's like, okay, now they're going into the NFL with, national championship pedigree,
Hmm.
but and in the meantime, the scenarios and how we um handled those opportunities along the way, the different men that had these opportunities, that plays a factor or what have you as well, because nobody really had a number of different people to analyze and idealize at the same time. If
Hmm.
you was a young black quarterback, you had Doug Williams, you had uh, Warren Moon,
Hmm.
and some other names that I can't even remember, Randall Cunningham,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
far and few between, but now the league, watch out. This won't be
Yeah.
the last, I tell you that much.
Because if you see the draft that's coming out, when you have a Bryce Young, um, you have my man from Tennessee. I don't know if he's coming out this year, but the quarterback from Tennessee,
Yeah,
um, my man from Ohio State. You have a lot of young black quarterbacks that are coming out, that are basically dual threats. but they can sit in that pocket and they can pick you apart or they can run. I mean, it's just wide open. So it's a beautiful thing for the NFL. It's a beautiful thing for the black community. It's a beautiful thing for every community because everybody, if you're the best man for the job, you should be able to have that job.
Correct.
No matter what color, race that you are. Okay,
Yeah.
you the best man for the job should get that job. So
Yeah.
what do you feel? You know, as far as strategy wise, what do Kansas City have to do to stop the Eagles, and what do the Eagles have to do to stop Kansas City?
Okay. Stopping Jalen Hurts.
Hmm.
That's a major mountain to climb. And I'll say this: I don't think they're going to stop Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
I'll say that
Hmm.
and
Okay.
so
I may put a couple dollars for MVP.
yeah. So
That going that way. Yeah.
I don't think they're going to stop Jalen Hurts. I think Kansas City needs to concentrate on actually controlling the running game of Philly.
Yeah.
If they want to give themselves the best shot, maybe they want to concentrate on taking away the running game
Hmm.
and letting Jalen Hurts prove that he can make the right decisions
Hmm.
uh, with the ball. Dropping it off, trying to take the top off, throwing it deep. His
Hmm.
mid-range game, possession, solid possession passes, the dinks and dunks as they call it, or what have you, and
Hmm.
let him do that. That would probably be the best way.
Hmm.
If they just pin their ears back and not focusing on the run game and assignments, if the linebackers are losing containment, then
Hmm.
Jalen Hurts is going to gash them.
I think so, and I think Kansas City plays uh, a lot of uh, man coverage. They like to have their cornerbacks stick you man to man. They like to send those four guys up the field because that's what Spagnolia likes to play. But once you play man to man with a quarterback that can run, they can't see when he does take off, and that just causes a lot of problems right then and there.
Yeah, and yeah, well, we haven't talked about the fact that you got brothers on both teams, right? The Kelsey
Hmm.
brothers,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah,
You got.
both very talented. But I'm gonna tell you, quiet as kept.
Mhm.
Uh, the Kelsey brother, that's the center,
Hmm.
Philadelphia,
Yeah, Jason Kelsey.
may have the biggest impact of the two brothers. The
Yeah.
game, if he has a hell of a game at center,
Hmm.
um, I think I think he'll have a more. It'd be unheralded, but those that are paying attention to the game and they
Hmm.
comparing the brothers who had a better game, whatever their position is, center
Hmm.
and tight end or what have you. Of
Hmm.
course, Travis is going to score a touchdown. So, but
Yeah.
I'm saying if he dominates his center position
Hmm.
and is motivated and is focused right there, and
Hmm.
Jalen Hurts right behind him,
Yeah.
and he's going to have that line anchored down, and the calls are going to be right, and he's on
Yeah.
point.
He's the guy that's calling, picking up these blitzes.
Yeah, yeah, and
Hmm.
he's going to be dialed in. He's going to be dialed all the way
I
in.
mean, yeah, Kelsey is the leader of that offensive line, and the fact that he's on a smaller side, but he can get out and pull. He can get to that second level,
And
because
they
he's getting
listen
enough.
to him. He's a leader on that team.
He is the leader of the offensive line, and when he
Yes.
gets out there and starts to pull, or he gets to that second level, that's when you have the big gains, and you'll see Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts coming untouched, and yeah, he is the anchor of that offensive line. And then let me not forget to mention Lane Johnson, because Lane Johnson, when you have like a Nick Bosa, he doesn't sniff Jalen Hurts. Lane Johnson is the best right tackle in all of
Mhm.
NFL. He hasn't allowed a sack in 2 years. Okay, so this is when I say that the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line is just You know, you win by defensive line and offensive line. And the fact that both of them this year for the Philadelphia Eagles have been so dominant, that's why when Jalen Hurts is in the game, they're 16-1. Because that offensive line, they
They
manhandle people.
they are a problem. They are a
Hmm.
problem. So what would you tell Kansas City defense to do to stop Philly? Do you have any?
If I'm Kansas City, you're going to have to play zone because if you play man, I just think that even if you play a lot of man, they're going to try to beat them deep. Like you want to take uh, AJ Brown, and send
Mm-hmm.
him deep, or he's going to hit you with those slants. And
Yeah.
he's too big for these cornerbacks, and plus these cornerbacks are real young. He's big, he's physical. He'll take a slant, a 5 yard slant, and take it 30 yards. Or if he knows you're going to go for that slant, he'll give you that double move and take it up. You know, so that's a problem that Kansas City's going to have struggles with. And then when you try to double team him, then you got Devontae on the other side, and Devontae can go over the top. Excellent route runner. He's going to try to pick you apart. And then you have the tight end Goddard, who is not as good as Travis Kelce, but he's not that far off from Travis Kelce. A big, wide body that is fast, that can exploit the middle. They have a lot of weapons. So if I'm them, Kansas City, I'm gonna say, we got to play zone because if we play zone, at least we can see we can kind of stop them from going over the top as much because we can see a little bit what's going on. And if Jalen does decide to run, well, our linebackers are looking at him. Our cornerbacks are looking at him. Our safeties are looking at him. So if he does decide to run on an RPO uh, uh, plays, at least we can be in position to tackle him. Because I think if they play man straight up, or they try to blitz and play man on the outside, the Eagles' offensive line will pick up the blitzes, and I don't think they're going to put that much pressure on him. And I just think he's going to have too much time in the pocket if they play man to man. So my suggestion to them is you just rush four. Maybe you come with a fifth with the linebacker, but you play zone so at least you can keep an eye on Jalen so he can't beat you with the scrambling. And that would be my suggestion. But their defense coordinator does not do that much. Play zone. He likes to play man. So we'll see what happens. But I just think playing man is going to be a recipe for disaster for Kansas City on defense.
Yeah. And the fact that to me, Jalen Hurts is game planning and defensive recognition
Mhm,
is doesn't get enough recognition and
mhm,
appreciation. Um, but if you go zone, I can understand that. That's a great angle.
mhm.
And so you can try to keep away the run, slow down the run because your eyes will be back in the backfield,
Right.
things of that nature. But if Philadelphia comes out of there and can get 3-4 yards, a consistent running game,
Yeah.
and that play action, JL, I mean Jalen Hurts is gonna bring you down with that run play,
Yeah. Hmm.
and they just gonna dink and dunk you because you just talked about AJ Brown and Devontae, their route running,
Hmm.
two great route runners, one with it's just a straight body physical advantage that
Hmm.
can that doesn't mind coming inside, getting that leverage, getting that crossing route, and
Hmm.
keeping the chains moving with an 8-9 yard pass. I can
Hmm.
see, I can see, I can see AJ Brown getting catching 7 or 8 balls,
Hmm.
um, maybe even 10, but 7 or 8 just nice possession passes, for 11, 12 yards, move the chains, and just keeping that chain moving. And I think Kansas City defense is gonna get worn out at the end of the day, no
Well,
matter.
I listen. I tend to agree with you because I just think that Jalen is going to be able to say, what, if you guys are, you know, playing back, like if they don't come with any blitz or anything, they want to play back, play zone. Um, Jalen's going to, it's going to be a run play.
Yeah.
We want to just run it down your throat. We want you to bring your guys up in the box. We want those safeties to come up, and once those safeties come up, then we're gonna go over the top. I think
Yeah.
that's just how it's played. Their offensive line, if you don't bring extra men into the box, they're going to run the football on you. And if after they start to run the football on you, you're forced to bring your linebackers up. You're forced to bring those safeties down into the box. Okay, now you have AJ and now you have Smith on the outside, 1-on-1, and we're going to try to beat you over the top. And that's what the Eagles have
And
been doing
Jay
all
and
year.
Jalen Hurts making that decision and making those
He's
same
making that.
reads.
He's making that decision. Because
And
he's going to. He start. I mean, he is the reason why they can run the ball so well because he sucks up that end doesn't know to crash in or stay on the outside to try to stop Jalen. He doesn't know that slight hesitation. Even the middle linebacker, I don't know what I want to do because he may fake it to the running back, but then AJ Brown is coming right behind me, so I don't know if I
yeah,
should step up or I should step back. But if I step back, well, then Miles Sanders is coming running at me with a head start. And if I
look,
step up to try to
woo,
stop Sanders, well, then AJ Brown just got a 10-yard completion right in back of me, and then he's still running. And Jalen is the leader of this orchestra. Okay, he is the conductor, and that's what he do. As you doing right there, he is the puppet master. Okay, and that is what makes Jalen so great because he is the mastermind behind all that makes this offense successful. So when they say that anybody can be plugged in, like a Minshew can be plugged in to this offense and make it run, no. There's one guy that's built for this offense. This offense was built for Jalen Hurts
yep.
because they know what his talents are, and he is the guy that makes this offense goes and run seamlessly, because they can hit you with the run and they can hit you with the pass, and that's hard to stop.
Yeah,
So,
and look, and he can
mhm,
do both.
yes, yeah,
he,
yeah, he
he
can gun the football all day long, which people thought he couldn't do, but he can stand in that pocket and shred you up. And then, okay, well, you tired of me shredding you with my arm. I'm gonna get that 10-yard run. I'm gonna get that 15-yard run. You know what I'm saying? It's just
hey,
that offense is strong. The offense
watch
is
what he
strong.
does. Watch what he does to a spy. They're gonna put a spy on him at
Mhm.
some portion of the game. I'm
And I
sure.
think and I think that's a bad move because that spy is going to be looking at him. Okay, and like I said, you want to he gonna do that fake in the hand. Listen, that spy is just going to be standing there
Yeah,
like, what happened?
yeah.
Okay, what happened? Either Miles Sanders ran right past me, or AJ Brown or Devontae just caught it right behind me. Like, what happened? Like,
He go,
basically, you're playing 10 or 11 if you just have a spy.
That's my point. That's
Yeah.
my point. And Jalen has
Hmm.
such the mental game that when
Hmm.
he recognizes that you got a spy on him,
Hmm.
it may work one time because it just may be like, oh, okay, I didn't catch it.
Hmm.
Now
Yeah.
I know who my spy is.
Yeah.
Now when he rolls out the pocket
Hmm.
and that spy has to close that space in because he thinks he's going to be running, and that's what he's spying him for to stop that long run. And
Yep.
like you said, right behind him right
Mhm.
behind him is the really the main. I'm really trying to move you out the way so I can go right there.
Exactly.
You
Yep.
know, I'm doing this on
Mhm.
purpose. I'm rolling out with a purpose. Jalen Hurts will be doing things with a purpose.
Yeah. Manipulate that defense.
Oh my goodness, it's gonna be beautiful, man. It's gonna be beautiful.
It's going to be a beautiful thing. So let's see. Okay. So let's go on the other side. What do you think that the Eagles are going to have to do to try to slow down this high powered offense of Kansas City, even though they don't have Tyreek Hill, but they're in the Super Bowl again, and it just seems like no matter how many points that the Kansas City needs to score, they will score it. You know, in
Yeah.
bunches, no matter who's on the field. Like they got like four, fifth stringer wide receivers come into the game and they're still putting up points. So, what do the Eagles have to do on defense, in your opinion, to try to slow down this Kansas City offense?
Okay, here you go. I'm gonna give you the
Hmm.
game plan real quick.
Hmm.
Philadelphia, in my opinion, if I'm
Hmm.
Philly,
Yeah.
I'm coming hard. I'm bringing pressure. In basketball terms, I'm going full court press. I'm
Okay.
going full court press. I'm trying to start the game off, blowing the pocket up.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes on the move,
Mm-hmm.
and and allowing them to make their big splash. I mean, big play and big splash plays early in the game. I'm not going to be bothered by that. They're going to make some big hits and things of that nature. I just need Mahomes moving, okay? And I'm thinking uh, if they score fast, because that's what Kansas City's going to have. Kansas City does not want to get into a slugfest with the Philadelphia Eagle defense. The bottom line,
Mm-hmm.
you Kansas City doesn't want to go on consistent 80-yard drives, uh,
Mm-hmm.
15, 16 play drives.
Yeah,
I
Mahomes
don't
is
think.
yeah, Mahomes is can get impatient at times. He
Yeah,
wants to press that
they
issue.
don't want that.
Yeah.
They don't that's they really don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm Philly, I'm pinning my ears back. I'm sending my D line that's some monsters,
Mm-hmm.
70 plus sacks in the regular season.
Yes.
Hunt and get me one sack a quarter, and
Mm-hmm.
put Mahomes on the ground, chase him around, see if he can
Mm-hmm.
test that ankle out, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if they score fast on Philly, Philly's gonna get the ball, and Philly doesn't mind smash mouthing, and they're probably not gonna have a lot of three and outs. I'm speaking of Philly,
Yeah.
so their defense is gonna have time to recover,
Mm-hmm.
which is gonna keep them fresh enough to keep putting that and rushing the quarterback because they're gonna have
Yeah.
time to recover. And if Kansas City scores in 4 or 5 plays,
Mm-hmm.
that was a quick drive.
Right.
My defense only played 4 or 5 plays, so war of attrition. Now you're gonna
Right.
put the
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City defense back out there and let Philly smash mouth.
Keep on wearing them out.
So if I'm Philly, I'm
Mm-hmm.
coming at them fast from the
Right.
beginning. I'm not letting them warm up and get into the flow,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna wear them out. That's my mentality on that.
Well, I kind of I'm in the same boat because
Mhm.
I just think that see the Eagles they don't really rush the linebacker. They don't blitz that much. Their defensive coordinator again, the four because and the fact is they can switch them out. So you know they can play four guys on first down, another four guys on second down. Switch out two more for third down. Everybody's fresh, and they're
Everybody.
coming. Yeah, and they're coming after the quarterback. And Mahomes, and I'll put it to you like this: when the Broncos played them at the end of the season, Russ had one of his best games, but the defense was able to put pressure on Mahomes with their front four, and then Justin Simmons was able to get interceptions in the safety position on Mahomes because they got that pressure. They made him move his feet, and if you can get that pressure on him, you can disguise that back coverage and you can get Mahomes to throw a couple of interceptions your way. And that's what the
Because
Broncos did. That's what the Broncos did. And I was
because
surprised that I was surprised that Cincinnati wasn't able to do it, but they didn't get as much pressure with their front.
correct.
But if you can
And
get pressure, yeah, go ahead.
and
Uh-huh.
the Philadelphia cornerbacks, one
You
and
got
two,
you have Pro Bowlers.
you got
Mhm.
Pro Bowlers,
Yeah.
and if Mahomes is has to concentrate on this pressure that's coming through this
Mhm.
in the first second, he
Mhm.
doesn't have time to get these reads. Those
Mhm.
lockdown cornerbacks
Mhm.
are going to still be in great position, and if
Mhm.
Mahomes has to throw it quick and all that stuff, the safeties, like you said, the safeties are going to read the fact that
Mhm.
once Mahomes comes running out that corner, out that pocket, they're going to be able to cut the field in half because
Mhm.
they know where his options are,
Mhm.
and cut gaps and break on the ball
Mhm.
because whatever. And if they don't, and he gets them and he beats them deep
Mhm.
a couple times on Sunday,
Mhm.
that's not going to be enough to win the game.
Right. I just see that front four. Matter of fact, I already made a couple of bets on who may be the MVP. A lot of guys on the Eagles defense, because of the fact is I think that they will be able to put the pressure on Mahomes, and they do have a good offensive line. So I'm not. Kansas City does have a really good offensive line, but it's a war of attrition, like you were saying before. And I just think with that wave of rushers, when you got Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, you got Sue, you got Reddick, you got Sweat, you have everybody that's coming after him. You got Hargrave. Like, it's not only the fact is they get it from the outside with Sweat and Reddick, your outside pass rushers, but you got Fletcher Cox, you have Hargrave, you got Sue. They coming up the middle. You can't step up in that pocket. So
Uh,
this is what's going to get to me Mahomes in trouble is he's going to try to buy extra time. But
and
but that's
listen,
when you may see a couple of strip sacks, you know,
bro,
because
bro,
they're coming from every angle.
they coming from every angle. They fast as hell.
Uh-huh.
Okay, they're strong as hell,
Mm-hmm.
and they're big as hell, and it's a lot of them, like you said. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, if Kansas City has a good offensive line, but
Mm-hmm.
again, the war of attrition at this line of scrimmage, Philly is going to keep bringing in guys, and
Yeah.
they're not getting any slower, any
Mm-hmm.
weaker, or any smaller. They got
Mm-hmm.
they got the big boy Davis from UGA
Yeah.
that's
Mm-hmm.
300 pounds. That's
Mm-hmm.
300 pounds, and he's the baby of the bunch. He's
He
learning
gets
from Sue.
he
He's
gets
learning from these guys.
yeah, he gets the least amount of snaps, but that's a 300. I'm 20. He's 350.
Hey,
350. You know what I
three
mean?
350.
And
And
he's going
look,
to and he's sucking up two blockers on the inside, just giving you more opportunities for your rusher to get through.
so
So that
so
that is that's a problem. That's a
so
problem.
on third and three, and
Hmm.
I got a fresh big boy taking
Hmm.
up both the A gaps. You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, where you going? You got to go around that. And here's another thing:
Hmm.
the in Philadelphia's linebackers are
Hmm.
going to be playing so free. And the last time I remember a linebacking core being able to play so free in the season and in the Super Bowl was Ray Lewis and the Baltimore Ravens
Yeah.
when Big Boy Eric Nam was in front.
Hmm.
You leave your linebackers to scrape and read and
Hmm.
pull, and they don't have to get
They,
over
they,
all
they,
that.
yeah, they got to worry about those offensive linemen on them. They
Yeah,
free. They're free to
they
run through. Yeah.
They free to rumble, so so the
It's-
linebackers can cover those flats and those quick check downs
Right.
or what have you, and keep everything in front of them
Hmm.
because the D line doesn't need any help.
Hmm.
But we fast enough from the linebackers that we might shoot one just to
Uh-huh.
push Mahomes out. So in my theory, like I said, I'm coming in at the beginning of the game and I'm a shooter linebacker here and there
Hmm.
just to make him get out of that pocket and
Hmm.
test that ankle out. And once he rolls out, the speed of the linebackers
Yeah.
without having a clean track, man, it's
Yeah.
I don't
I just see when he starts to scramble out, there's going to be somebody waiting for him. That's why I see, and I could see if they had wide receivers that really scared you. I know uh, Scantling can get down the field, but I just don't. Their wide receivers do not scare me.
I'll
That is
double I'll double
yes.
Kelsey. I'll double Kelsey.
Kelsey is the only person on the offense that scares me. Now, let me give shout outs to Pacheco, the running back. He is from South Jersey. He went to Vineland High School. So
Oh, shouts out.
let me give a shout out to Pacheco. Okay. So next time when he has camp next year, my son will be there at that camp. I just want you to know that. So he will be there. If you're watching, he'll be there. Okay. We want a discount, though. We want a discount. But Pacheco is a good running back and he runs hard. He's real physical. But as I say, when you got big boys, Joseph and Sue, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, they're going to try to plug up that run. And the only person that has the advantage on their offense is Kelsey. And
Yeah.
what I would do with Kelsey, like you said, you got to double team Kelsey. Okay. I will put Gardner Johnson on Kelsey as that's my safety, but he's also can play as a cornerback as a slot corner. I will put him on Kelsey and then have my one of my linebackers shade Kelsey underneath. You
Correct.
know, because that's
Correct.
that's I'll just that's how I'll man up Gardner on Kelsey, but everything underneath, I got that linebacker just waiting there, just
Yeah.
waiting underneath.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could do that,
And the
I just
linebackers will be able to do that
yeah,
because
they're
you
freed
don't
up.
have to send them every time.
You don't have to send them at all because this front four is just that good.
Yeah.
They're
You just
just that
but
good.
if I do send them, if I do
Hmm.
send this linebacker,
Hmm.
then all due respect to Jersey running back representing,
Yeah,
but if you in the game and you got to spend half of your plays in the game
yeah.
chipping these big boys coming
And he's
downhill,
going to have to do a lot of it too. He's going to have
and
to
they
do a lot
and
of it.
if and they don't care if they meet you in the hole and y'all blow the hole up.
Hmm.
Those linebackers, they want that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't want, as a running back, you want to run the ball. You don't want to
Yeah.
necessarily have to be chipping
Hmm.
just so your quarterback can, you can't get in the flats if you don't got to get up off your ass because you don't have to chip this middle linebacker. Then you got to go out there and run a wheel route and all that.
Hmm.
Man,
Yeah, because and I just think that they want to try to do a lot of screen plays. I think they want to do a lot of short passes just because they know that pass rush is coming. So Pacheco may just have a lot of opportunities for the screen passes. Him fake blocking and then going up the middle, catch a 5 yard pass, and try to do some
he,
damage.
he might be the Chiefs' most valuable player on Sunday.
He could be if they win, but I don't think they're going to win. So we talked about the offenses, we talked about the defenses. So in the final analogy of the Super Bowl, what do you think is going to actually happen in your mind that's going to play out on Sunday for everybody? And also, what will your final score be?
Okay.
Because I see
Um,
which way you're leaning. I see
yeah.
which way you're leaning.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Philadelphia's 31. Philadelphia 31 and KC 21. So
Okay,
Philly
keep it
going Philly
simple.
gonna win by 10. Philly gonna
Okay,
win by 10.
okay.
Yeah,
See,
Philly gonna win by 10.
mhm,
KC gonna, I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's gonna
mhm,
hit a couple shots. I see their
mhm,
damage coming earlier. They may score 14 in the first half,
right.
but by the time the second half comes and
Mhm.
Rihanna gets off the stage and the smoke clears, bro. I mean, the happiest people at halftime is gonna be, to me, gonna be Kansas City just trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
You know,
I do see it the same way. I just think that Mahomes scared me so much as because he can do so much. So it's like the Michael Jordan of football, where
mhm.
if it's in his hands, he can just win it by himself. But what I've seen through the years of all these Super Bowls, it's not the best individual player, individual quarterback. It's always the best team that wins. And the
Agreed.
Eagles are the most complete team out of the whole NFL this year. Defense, offense, special teams. I keep trying to figure in my head, well, how can Kansas City win this game? And I don't see anything. Now, I could be wrong. This is a prediction. This is not a guarantee. But I just see no way that Kansas City can either score enough points to keep up with the Eagles or stop the Eagles enough on defense to win this game. So in my mind, I'm thinking maybe 27-14 type win for the Eagles, where they pretty much cover. Um, Fourth quarter is basically it's just like let's run the football, run the clock out. Um, and I want Jalen to be the MVP of this game, but I think the defense is going to do such a number on them. I think that either Darius Slay or Bradbury, the cornerbacks, are going to get a couple interceptions in this game, where they're the MVP, or Hassan Reddick or Josh Sweat. is going to get to Mahomes with a couple of sacks, and they're going to be the MVP. But
Yeah.
it's just going to be a consistent game because I think that the Eagles are going to jump on them early and then run the ball, cruise control in the fourth quarter. So that's kind of how I see it. 27-14. And Eagles, man, Eagle fans. I hate to say it, but they will be, partying South in all of South Jersey too. Philadelphia, South Jersey. This will be all green come Sunday night. These guys will be climbing up light poles and whatnot. So put some lard on there, grease them poles down. We don't want anybody getting hurt. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's going to be crazy around this area. So I do predict that the Eagles are going to get this win. And but it's for Jalen though. This is for Jalen.
Yeah,
Oh, this is for Jalen.
yeah, yeah,
This is just for Jalen. So.
yeah. I
Mhm.
want I want him to win a national to win a championship
Yeah.
and complete the game.
Hmm.
The Alabama national championship. You know, they always give it back to Tua because he got pulled, and but the
Yeah.
but the young man has taken all of those past experiences, and I'm definitely rooting for him.
Mhm.
Uh,
A
and
lot
I,
of America
listen,
is. A
man,
lot of America is. Yeah.
it's gonna be 10 plus points, man. Philly gonna go away, blow it out. It's gonna be a good game though. As a fan, you're gonna be entertained.
Yeah.
We will be entertained.
It's going to be a lot of action, but I just think
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of negativity on Kansas City side of the ball. But it will be action because with Mahomes, even though I think they're going to be down, he's going to be gunning that football. That's why I
yeah,
just think it's going to be a lot of turnovers as well because he's going to try to have to catch up. So it will
yeah,
be an entertaining Super Bowl, but I just think the Eagles got too much for him. So this has been um, a great segment for South Jersey Life. Me and my man Levon talking football with you guys. We should have started this in the beginning of the match. I should have started this stuff way earlier. You know what I'm saying? But we hit y'all up with the playoffs. So watch all of the videos to see how we let up. Y'all would have won a lot of money with us.
yeah,
So I'm saying put your money on the Eagles. But yeah, we had a good time this playoff season. I appreciated doing with you, Levon, talking about the NFL. But
definitely.
but listen, it ain't over yet. We got basketball season. We got baseball season.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be South Jersey sports all year long until football season come back around. Yeah, he done got the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, my bad, the Atlanta Hawks.
That's
He done
right. That's
switched it
right.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
ATL.
yes. Yeah, Trey Young up there, Collins or whatever. So we want to
Yeah,
see
yeah.
y'all may have to bang out with us in the
Oh yeah,
playoffs.
we
Yeah, a couple
yeah,
years
we
ago,
will.
y'all hurt our feelings. Yeah, a couple years ago, y'all hurt our feelings. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, we want South Jersey life. Yeah, this is like I said, this has been fun. Enjoy you guys watching. I appreciate all the viewers. We're trying to get subscribers up. So like, subscribe, like, tell a friend, push that button. Y'all see the scroll down there. Subscribe to South Jersey Life. And you said we just try to keep it up, keep you guys entertained, having fun, and we love doing this. So it's been great so far. So I want everybody to enjoy the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Everybody be safe out there. Everybody have fun. And we'll be back probably next week, and we'll be talking about some other sports, and we'll be recapping this Super Bowl win. Levon, you got anything for the people?
Nah, man. Everybody, like I say, man, be safe. Enjoy the Super Bowl Sunday. Um, take care of yourself. Like, subscribe, share. Just
Mm-hmm.
pop us on and
Mm-hmm.
listen to us chopping it up about some real sports things, some real life things, and
Mm-hmm.
having fun doing it. And
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's been a blessing. I appreciate it. And
Mm-hmm.
y'all just be safe, man. Until next time. Till next time, much love.
All right, appreciate it. And like I said, like, subscribe, like. Keep watching these videos. Keep sharing these videos. Don't wait to share the videos. So, like I said, once again, South Jersey Life. We just giving you, conversation about everything that's going on in the world. But today was about sports, about the Super Bowl and the Eagles. We predict both will have a convincing win over the Kansas City Chiefs. So we got Jalen Hurts uh, raising that Lombardi Trophy. So it's going to be a beautiful thing for not just Eagle fans, but a lot of black people all across this country. You know what I mean? We get to see another black man raise that Super Bowl trophy uh, in celebration, being the best quarterback or the best team in football. So we appreciate that. So
Definitely.
everybody, we will be tuning out, and we will see y'all very, very soon. So, we out. Talk to you guys later. Peace.